What's up, guys? Barry Gaming here, back with some more AFK Journey, and today I want to talk specifically about deficit pushing because, well, I feel like it's a smaller percentage of the community that really cares about deficit pushing, but this is what I want to make this video about. In the description and the first comment, I'm going to put a community post as well that is going to have like a poll. I want to know what your guys' take is on deficit pushing. Do you care about it? Do you care about it but don't actually do it? Do you not care about it at all? Do you have zero care and you like fun heroes? Let me know, because I kind of want to show you guys a variety of content, because if you guys don't know the type of stuff I make, a lot of times I just like having fun in the game, and sometimes that doesn't necessarily mean playing like completely optimal. I like highlighting heroes like Satrana, that I just absolutely love the hero in general, and I try to make her work, but you can't quite do that when you're doing that extreme deficit pushing. And probably later today we'll have a video showing just that. No deficit pushing, but having some real fun, cool team compositions come together, because hey, at the end of the day, it's a game. I try to play as serious as possible most of the time, but sometimes I just want to have fun with these heroes. So let's jump right into it. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, we'll go over that first, and then I'm going to show you guys the community post that we're making. So when we're talking about deficit pushing, it really comes into the fact of not necessarily like the AFK stage level, not even like the level of the enemies. We're talking about the power. So you can see right here, we are in non-deficit. We're in the exact opposite. Currently, our team is 45 billion power, and the enemy team is 43. Now, when we're talking about deficit pushing, that is when your power is actually less than the enemies you are facing. You'll ever notice, like, you don't push for a couple days, your team gets a lot more powerful, and then you can just hit the auto battle button, and it just like magic just clears out that entire wave for you, like in plus extras. Like, you don't have to worry about how difficult the waves are. If there's really hard enemies, you just have enough power to completely overpower them. That's fine. That's what I do a lot of times, especially on like my free-to-play account, because otherwise you're spending like hours in the game trying to push. However, when we're talking about the best of best heroes like Freyasto, like heroes like Smokey and Mirky, those heroes right there are what we're pushing double to even close to triple your power. So if you really want to know what true deficit pushing is, if we are 45 million power, we're literally going, or 45 billion, we're going up against 90 plus is what we're talking about. And that's why if you look at the records here, you'll see when people clear them. You can see our level right now is 670, 680, but if you look at the records, they basically order them in the power of the team. The furthest to the right is the closest probably to whatever your power was that cleared it, but these are like the first people to ever clear the stage. If you look at the very first one, this is most likely the biggest deficit ever, and you can see their levels are only about 549, 551, 541. So you can see right here, the levels are a crazy low level compared to what we're facing, because you can see right here, their power is 16 billion going up against 43. So you can see where that math comes in. Even if you double that team's power right there at like 16, you're still only going to like 33 essentially. 33 is still well under this. You could actually add another 16 on and you're just a little over that. So you're literally pushing like 2.5 times multiplier here, and that's what the true definition of deficit pushing, taking a team that is way under leveled and able to clear content. And that's why you'll see most of the teams that are being run here, the two common denominators right now are going to be Freyasto and Smokey and Mirky, just because they do the job so well. Besides that, you can slot in a bunch of different heroes. In reality, those two are the main ones. You can see as you go up in power, Freyasto kind of tends to drop off, and you're using these other less conventional things, but at the end of the day, Smokey and Mirky is the go-to hero here. And the nice thing with this deficit pushing too, you can see what other people are using as well for the magic charms, which is really cool. You can't like see specifically, but you know what icon it is, and you can tell exactly what's going on. Beyond that, you can see what artifact they're using too. And oddly enough, a lot of people are actually running the Stormcaller spell because it's interesting. It's cast 3 different times. You get HP, vitality, physical defense, and magic defense. So that is like one of the tankiest artifacts in the game. Increases the skill damage. It does a couple different casts. If you want to see what it actually does, we can jump on over here, and it gets the more specifics when you look at it in here. So you're basically dealing damage to all enemies, which is pretty cool. You deal it again. You're doing a heal on top of that. You're also increasing the damage dealt from the team attack. It also stuns enemies for 3 seconds and 1 second and 0.5 second on the initial ones. That additional CC might not sound like a lot, but it can make a huge difference. So just to get the definition out of the way, that is what deficit pushing is. I personally am not a fan of it just because, well, if you're deficit pushing, most of the time you're also doing this on manual, because most of the time you're running Aaron in this, and in order to make sure the enemies stay on your side of the battlefield, you need to manually control him so that you're not pushing them to the edge of the arena. See how there's a couple enemies that are like way in the back there? If Smokey America gets his third ultimate off, it's not actually going to hit all of them, so you need to like manually control it and pull them towards you. I just like taking it easy a lot of the time. Plus, beyond that, I like just having fun with weird team compositions. So that's why I don't personally deficit push all that often. I did before, and I don't do it as much now. I'd love to get your take on that, because that brings us to the poll, and I want your guys' feedback on what type of content you want to see as well. So over on our community tab on our page here, we have a new one that I just posted for you guys. Poll time. What is your take on deficit pushing on AFK Progress battles? This is what I really want to know. Number one here, just to make sure there's no confusion, I'm going to explain them. I like to see the teams, as in you want me to show you what those deficit pushing teams are, and you're one of those people who deficit push yourself. The second option here is basically saying I do want to see those teams, but I don't personally deficit push myself. The third option, I don't really care to see the teams because I really don't push them myself. And lastly, I kind of want to just get I put this last one, I might have probably just left it off, but I left it in. I just play it for fun. I like playing fun teams. I don't care about any of these options whatsoever. Kind of just show whatever looks fun and we'll watch it, but I don't know if anybody's actually seen it and voted yet. I'm really intrigued to see what the overall voting structure is. I feel like the early votes are definitely going to go to the top one because they're probably more active on YouTube, trying to look up the content, find out what teams they want. So definitely leave a comment on this one. I love to hear what you guys think about that, because at the end of the day, I need to know what type of content you guys want to see, and if I need to push deficit, I'll push deficit to show you some cool stuff. Later today, though, we're gonna have some fun stuff, so stay tuned for that. Using less traditional heroes like Cassidy, like Citrana, those type magic damage dealers that could have a cool synergy together if only they could live in deficit pushing. But hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't done it just yet. I'll see you guys next time.